Are you enjoying the game today, too?
Ready to level up your knowledge? Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Today, we are grabbing our stethoscopes and diving headfirst into Nintendo's 1990 puzzle classic, Dr. Mario.
And, I think we have to start with the most important question.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
How in the world did Mario get a medical license?
I still can't get over it. One day he's a plumber, the next he's a board-certified physician. Did he just, take an online course?
It's the ultimate career pivot, isn't it? But yes, the game was a huge deal. It was released for the Famicom and the Game Boy on the exact same day, July 27, 1990.
That simultaneous launch was a massive statement from Nintendo. They were coming off the success of Tetris and needed their own puzzle heavyweight.
And Dr. Mario was it. It had this simple premise, but a surprising amount of strategy just waiting under the surface.
It's perfect for anyone who loves that aha moment when you figure out the deeper mechanics.
Exactly. It's a masterclass in elegant game design that honestly still holds up.
Okay, so let's start with the absolute basics for anyone who might have somehow missed this one.
Right, so it's a falling block puzzle game, but it's not like Tetris. You're not trying to clear horizontal lines.
No, the goal is to eliminate all of the viruses that are inside this giant bottle on the screen.
And to do that, Dr. Mario drops these two-block, two-color capsules. You have to line up 4 or more of the same color, either horizontally or vertically, to make them disappear.
And there's actually a story. The Famicom manual sets it up like a medical drama.
It really does. Dr. Mario is in his lab, and suddenly Nurse Peach bursts in.
Nurse Peach, oh no, the viruses are multiplying.
It's a full-on outbreak, and Mario has to deploy his special remedy, which is, of course, the capsules.
Gotta love the urgency. And the viruses themselves, they had so much personality for just being a few pixels.
They did. You had 3 colors, red, blue, and yellow, on the Famicom. The Game Boy used white, black, and a sort of speckled gray.
And they were described as 3-dimensional and humorous. They weren't just blobs, they had these little angry faces.
And the feedback when you cleared a color was so satisfying. The little virus guy on the side of the screen would writhe in pain and then disappear.
It was so exhilarating, it made you feel like you were actually winning the fight.
Which is funny when you compare it to the art on the American box.
Oh yeah, the overseas art had these super vicious, almost scary-looking microbes on it.
They really wanted you to know this was a serious medical threat, not just some cute puzzle game.
Okay, let's get into the system, because this is where the game's genius really shines. The rule is just match 4, but it's not like other puzzle games at all.
That's the key thing to understand.
Yeah.
The viruses are the obstacles. They're fixed in place. The capsules are your tools to remove them.
And you only get points for clearing viruses, right? Not for clearing out your own leftover capsule pieces.
Exactly. It completely changes the focus from just, clearing space to performing surgical strikes.
And the capsule itself is so simple, it's just 2 blocks.
Right, compared to Tetris with its 7 different shapes, a 2-block piece seems easy.
But it's not. Trying to squeeze one of those things into a tight vertical gap it's incredibly difficult.
It requires really precise timing and rotation. But that difficulty leads to the single most important mechanic in the whole game. Gravity. And how it creates Rensa, or chain reactions.
This is the big brain moment. Unlike other games, when you clear something, any capsule pieces sitting on top of it will fall down.
So the viruses are basically floating in midair, held up by whatever's below them, if you eliminate that support.
Everything above it drops. And that's how you set up combos. You can have a stray half capsule way up high, clear a virus at the very bottom, and watch that piece fall all the way down to complete a totally different match.
That half capsule drop is the core of high-level play. You have to plan moves ahead, setting up these vertical columns that will cascade down.
So what happens if you don't master those chain reactions?
Well, you run into a wall pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The later levels, like level 20, have 84 viruses crammed in there if you're just clearing them one by one.
It becomes a total slog. I remember that feeling. It stops being a puzzle and just feels like work.
The Japanese sources called it sagyukan, a feeling of dull, repetitive work. And that's exactly right.
But the game gives you options to ramp up. You have the levels, 0 to 20, which add more viruses.
And it goes even higher, up to 24 on the Famicom, just for the true masters.
And then you have the speed settings, a low W, MED, and HI.
Which is so important because it's not just about how fast the pills fall, Playing on higher speed gives you a massive point multiplier.
So if you want a high score, you're forced to play on HI, which has a whole other layer of pressure. It's brilliant.
It lets you perfectly tailor the challenge to your skill level.
But let's be honest, for most of us, single player was just practice. The real game, the reason we still talk about it, is the versus mode.
Oh, absolutely. That's its enduring legacy. 2 players side by side racing to clear their bottle first.
The tension was just unreal. I had so many fierce competitions with my friends.
It was a best-of-5 showdown. First to 3 wins.
And the main way you interact is by sending junk blocks, right? When you get a combo, you send stuff to your opponent's screen.
You do. But this is where it differs so much from a game like Puyo Puyo.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The attack blocks are tiny. You send like 2 or 4 little half capsules. They feel almost polite.
It feels that way, but it's a deliberate design choice. The goal isn't to bury your opponent in garbage.
So what is it then?
It's psychological warfare. Those small pieces fall slowly, and while they're falling, they temporarily lock your opponent's controls.
So it's not about damage, it's about disruption. It's a time waster.
Exactly. If they're in the middle of setting up a really complex combo, and you drop 2 little blocks that make them wait, you've just broken their rhythm.
And in a close match, those few seconds are everything. You win by clearing your board, not by topping them out.
Which brings us to the best part of versus mode.
The virus counter. That beautiful, horrible little number at the top of the screen.
You spend more time looking at their number than your own.
I'm down to 5, you'll never catch me. I'm a puzzle god.
Oh yeah, I just set up a massive vertical clear. I'm down to 3.
No. I needed a blue. Why want to give me a blue capsule? Wait, you're at 1, you're cheating. The game is giving you all the good pieces.
The accusations of capsule favoritism were a mandatory part of the experience.
It was just pure, frantic fun. And what made it so great was that anyone could play.
The handicap feature. That was so far ahead of its time.
You could set the starting level and the speed for each player individually.
So a total beginner could play against an expert on, equal footing. It opened the game up to everyone.
So critically, the game was a huge hit, right?
Oh, massive. It got into the Silver Hall of Fame in Famitsu magazine for both versions.
And its biggest strength was that accessibility. The match 4 rule is just so easy to grasp.
Which is why it became a huge hit with people who didn't normally play games. It was especially popular with middle-aged players and mothers in Japan.
And the sound. We have to talk about the sound design.
Iconic. The BGM is so addictive. You have the 2 main tracks, Fever and Chill.
And here's a great piece of trivia. The Fever track, the one everyone knows. The original Famicom version is actually shorter.
That's right, that famous longer second half of the melody that was used in the Super Smash Bros. DX arrangement.
Yeah.
That was actually added for the Game Boy and Super Famicom versions. So your memory of that song might depend entirely on which version you played first.
That's wild. Okay, but it wasn't perfect. Let's talk about the problems.
Well, we mentioned the repetitiveness in single player, but the biggest issue, I think we both agree, is the luck factor.
Oh, the RNG.
The random number generator. Sometimes you just don't get the color you need.
And you could see it deep down in the bottle, that one last blue virus, and the game just keeps sending you red and yellow capsules.
And your screen just fills up until you're completely stuck. It feels so unfair.
At the highest levels, especially on the Game Boy, it could feel like it was mostly a luck game. Skill could only take you so far. And what about the visuals? I remember the Famicom colors being, a little hard on the eyes after a while.
Yeah, those bright primary colors could cause some eye strain. The Game Boy, weirdly, solved that problem with its limitations.
How so?
Because it was monochrome, it used black, white, and that speckled gray. It made the different pieces surprisingly easy to tell apart on that old green screen.
But the Game Boy screen had its own issue, didn't it?
It did. It had one less row at the top of the bottle. A tiny change, but it made the game significantly harder. You could create unwinnable starting layouts.
Despite those issues, though, the game was a commercial giant.
It was. About 3.5 million copies sold between the Famicom and Game Boy. It really proved that puzzle games could be huge sellers for Nintendo, even before something like Puyo Puyo came along.
Which leads to my favorite part of this whole story, the mom effect.
Yes, the Okan ga Umai Gimu, the game that moms are good at.
It was a real phenomenon. My own mom could not get the hang of Super Mario 3, but she would destroy me in Dr. Mario.
It was so common, and it was important because it helped parents get more involved in gaming, which probably Helped a lot of kids get permission to play more games.
It was also a big deal in the media. There's a TV show, Super Mario Club, that had weekly competitions.
Right, they'd battle it out on level 15 MED speed. It was serious business.
And we can't forget that bizarre TV commercial.
The one with the women in virus costumes doing synchronized swimming.
Yes, to the song Mambo Bickin' She was so weird and so perfectly of its time.
The series kept going too. We got Dr. Mario 64, which added a story mode with Wario.
Then there was Dr. Luigi on the Wii U, which introduced L-shaped capsules.
A huge change to the strategy. And even the mobile game, Dr. Mario World, flipped the script by having the capsules slowed upwards.
But the biggest cameo, of course, was in Super Smash Bros. DX.
Yep. And the director, Masahiro Sakurai, said he included Dr. Mario as a character for one main reason.
What was it?
To use the Ever song. That's how iconic the music had become.
It's just a testament to the design. A simple rule, complex physics, and a game that's still incredibly fun and competitive over 30 years later.
The genius is all in those falling half capsules. It turns a simple matching game into this deep strategic gravity puzzle. The core of it is just timeless.
Will the game be fun tomorrow, too?
Have a nice game.